Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. Today, it's going to be a match between Maru and Serral. No big deal. Here on Oxide, top right it is Maru, and in the bottom left it is Serral. These two players have played some amazing ZVTs over the years. They know each other very well. And some of the most amazing ZVTs I've ever cast are between these two players. So, I'm hoping for a good one here today on Oxide. This is from Asus Rogue. That wrapped up just a couple of weeks ago now. Scouting for proxies, no proxies today. Just, a barracks coming up inside the main base at the top of the ramp, just in case it is a 12 pool. And what looks to be a Reaper timing. And a Reaper expand. 16, 18, 17 here from Serral. Well, let's just make sure it is, shall we? Look how peaceful Vespene Gas is. It's so peaceful. Is it good for the environment? I feel like it's a natural gas. So, maybe? Maybe it is. There you go. 16, 18, and 17. Timing looks good for both of these players. Probably a Reaper here from Maru. If it was Beyond, it might more likely to be a Marine, but he also does Reapers. But in this case, Maru likes the Reaper for the scouting process and for the ability to kill stuff while you're at it. I mean, the goal of any Reaper is really to get maybe like 1 kill. Used to be back in the day that honestly Reapers would get 2, 3, 4, sometimes 5 kills. That's just so rare these days. The defense for Zergs has been really, really impressive. So we'll go ahead. We've got a name for this guy. Boop, boop. And when he pops out, we'll go ahead and toss that on to him. So SCV says, all right, hatch first. Reaper, go! Gives the Reaper the command. He's cruising. What the wrong button. Wrong button again. Right button. Reaper name is Yamcha. After a successful single, Cat Loves Food, and his career in baseball, Yamcha decided he wanted to prove to everyone that he was still a competent fighter. He then decided to enroll in the Reaper program and show everyone that he can indeed still fight and was able to not die within the first 15 seconds of combat. At least this time, there aren't any Solvamen around, right? Right. I have no idea what Yamcha is. I'm sure somebody here does. So Reaper Harass is real. So far, 0 kills on said Reaper, but it's Serral, so what else do you want? I'm going to Google Yamcha while we're doing this. Oh, is he a Pokemon? Wait, doesn't make... No. Nope, from Dragon Ball. Oh, main protagonist in the Dragon Ball manga and the anime Dragon Ball, yada, yada, yada. Alright, man, it's a Dragon Ball character. I've watched exactly 0 Dragon Ball in my entire life. I've barely seen any clips of it. It's just not interesting to me. I do like anime. It's just Dragon Ball is not something that I've ever found myself interested in at all. Mostly because of, the memes, right? Where you spend an entire episode powering up for a battle and then the episode ends and maybe you'll get to a next episode, but no guarantees. It's too much filler, man. Anime is really big for that. I mean, TV in general can be really big on filler, but I just feel like more newer shows are more interested in not having that filler, and I really appreciate that from them. Appreciate it. I do. Alright, speed's on the way here from Serral. I mean, this is the kind of slower part of the game. The Reaper's gone, the Hellions are on the way, and by that I mean there's no Hellions at all yet. Just a bunch of Marines. So this definitely feels like a pretty early Marine drop from Maru. Not waiting for the second medevac based on the fact we don't... Well, maybe he does. The reactor is going to be used for the starport based on this positioning. And yeah, there we go. Swap. There's no collision in this game. Oh, but they actually took different paths anyway, so that's good. So we go double, double medevac. Okay, fine. Double medevac. Overlord comes in, sees the Marine count, and sees the reactor starport and says, all right, cool. Double medevac drop on the way. Let's make sure I have enough lings and queens to handle that. Queen count is looking pretty healthy. Again, queens are a staple of early game Zerg not dying. I think is the best way to refer to them. Without queens, they die to pretty much everything. They would die to these Marine drops. They would die to Adepts. They would die to Hellions, right? They would die to Zergling attacks that come early. It's just a really important unit. is all. Second medevac up, double medevac drop. Timing from Maru is impeccable. And here we go, sub 6 minutes. This is gonna, this is gonna hit sub 6. Baneling Nest on the way. Lair coming in here too. Not getting any upgrades. I had someone tell me once the best way to deal with this is to get your Zerglings +1 Carapace before this shows up, but Serral's not doing that. Also, it's so early for upgrades. It takes forever for Zerg upgrades. Nice snipe, and he's actually not going for a drop. He's just going to go ahead and harass here. The Queens are going to fight. The Transfuses are good. The Lings need to support, and there we go. So the Lings show up. That's nice. Gonna unload over here, though, Senor Maru. Oh, he might not get an accidental snipe on this base. I don't think either player knows that they're here right now. Oh, he gets a cancel and he kills the drone. Serral did not know where that medevac drop went. He assumed it would show up over here. That's why his Lings are doing crazy patrol maneuvers. Makes you dizzy to look at it, doesn't it? You're kind of like, whoa. Try to follow one of him. It's impossible to follow one. Because they all look exactly the same and they're kind of overlapping a little bit. I don't know, man. These tumors die too. Yeah, tumors, they're not going well today here for Tumorville. Transfuse, 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 transfuse. Lings here, slow Banelings, not great. Lings running to their deaths, also not great. Tanking as hard as they can, but Queen down. Once one Queen dies, it gets really difficult all of a sudden. Oh, Baneling. Was that a target? What was that? Was that a target fire? Baneling, okay, get a decent hit. Slow Banelings can really only expect to do so much here. So they managed to get Maru to back on out, but resources lost at this stage are 1,400 to 1,300. It's pretty even. Not too bad as far as Serral's concerned. Third base landing at about 6.5. Zergling sees it coming over, and a fourth base from Serral is on Zve on the bottom side. After this 9 o'clock expansion location is super bad for him. So +1/+1 now coming in for the Lings, getting centrifugal hooks too. Marines working on +1 attack, +1 armor, and do they have the combat shield already? Yeah, combat shield and stim. Maru's not going to forget that. The most important upgrades in the game. This is too much. Pick up, run, go, go. And they do. And is this a counter? I don't know. Serral's like, well, I got a lot of Lings, and my Banelings have speed now. So maybe we can harass this third base a little bit. Bringing some tanks to the front. And this is where it's going to be Ling, Queen, Baneling versus Marine Tank. This can be really dicey for players, man. A lot of Zergs have died at this stage of the game between 7 to 10 minutes when Marines and Tanks show up and start, you know, setting up in range, possibly setting up in range of one of your bases here. So Creep Tumor does get sniped. Tanks set up on low ground positions. Something... Oh, he did get a Baneling attack into the third base. 7 SCVs go down. Then he comes back. He has more Banelings ready to go. And so far, so good. I gotta say here from Serral. Where did I cast? It was a Rainer versus, I think, Clem game on this map. That is kind of similar, actually. Clem was pressuring along this right side quite a bit. Oh, the third base for Maru's in a lot of trouble, Maru. Oh no, he's going to have to lift that off, maybe? No, the high ground Siege Tank actually protecting quite nicely. Siege Tank getting some hits, but Ling's wrapping around. Alright, so the Siege Tank goes down, unloading a bit into a war zone, though. Okay, still holding, though. Siege Tank doesn't die yet. That's a big deal. 7 SCVs go down, 13 SCVs down, 3 drones. This hatch is taking some hits, but it's not dead yet. It's not dead yet, Jim. Still trying to pressure. Again, it's pretty dicey for the Zerg. Like, they want to be improving their economy at the same time, but also they really, really need army units to stay alive. It can be tough to balance. This Siege Tank's just going to land right here, isn't it? Yeah, protected by that one behind the rocks. Gonna need a full wraparound, and here it comes from the top side. Gonna try to connect. The Banelings coming in. They decide to target these Marines instead, but then no! The Marine damage is too good, and the low ground guys are hanging on too. Siege Tanks are gone, but a handful of Marines remain. The Queens are way better fighters than I expect them to be, but they'll surround from the other side. But no, everybody else picked up and left, and Maru has to retreat. He's got to back out. He knows there's more Lings on the way. He knows they have 1-1. He knows there's Banelings coming up too. The Queens can't fight for themselves forever here. The tank support is now rejoining the party. This is the difference. I cast a ZVT at the Masters level the other day, and the difference between that one and this one is reinforcements are showing up now. Where at the Masters level, the Terran couldn't quite pull that off. Couldn't quite reinforce the front while pressuring the front, and Serral's fourth base is going to go down. By that I mean, it's not gonna... Oh my gosh, this is so tight right now, Banelings. Getting some decent connections, but also nice firing at the same time. Queen count not healthy. I cannot believe how intense this is right now. Queen's doing amazing work. A Liberator shows up. And, okay, so everybody picks up and gets the heck on out of there. Killing the siege tank before the Marines arrive would be really good. Liberator goes down. This hatch has exactly 88 HP, and it just gets looked at and ends up going down here. Maru on 3 base is extremely terrifying at the moment. And like I said, this is the moment of truth for many Zerg players. Losing the Baneling Nest would suck, but he's going to lose the Baneling Nest. Can he save it? Ooh, nice wraparound on the siege tank makes it a lot easier to approach with your Banelings. Nice pickup again for Maru. A medevac gets picked out of the sky, but Maru doesn't go far. He doesn't have to. Left side base from Serral is up. He's got 4, which is excellent, but Maru is hunting it with another drop coming in. Lings ready to just be ready for the triple unload here. Maru's not going to try to unload, especially now that there are Banelings arriving. Yeah, he thought about it. He decided not to. He's going to go for the main base where there's literally no defense here at all, except for a single spore. Maru attacking at the right side simultaneously. These players are robots. Oh, he juked back. He jukes back, successfully unloads at Serral's 9 o'clock base. And he kills 5 drones, which matters right now because Serral's only at 60 and Maru is at 72. Widowmine's getting cleared out there. 5 drones go down. The base stays alive, which is massively important at the moment. A macro hatch for Serral at his 3rd. Is there a 4th base? Maru is landing a 4th base at the 12 o'clock. I think he's done enough pressure to maybe close it down here versus Serral. Serral can't afford to tech into anything right now. He's lost bases, he's lost drones, he's not been coming ahead on these trades. 14,000 to 8,000 resources lost in favor of Maru. And this is just Maru playing at his absolute best. Absolute best. Oh my gosh, this has been so intense to cast. I can't imagine how hard it is to play a game like this. Alright, man, siege tank on the low ground. Friendly fire splash is always a concern. Not extending off creep too far. Serral's too smart for that. Attack on the right side gets cleared out. Maru trying to go for 2-pronged. Serral going for 2-pronged defense as well. Liberators do set up right now, but the Queens are trying to get some nice shots off. The tanks get wiped out. Liberators nicely done here too. Oh, that's in the range. That's not in the circle at all. Queen goes down, but Liberators die. Counterattack by Serral. He needs to get something right now. There's nothing defending Maru's 3rd base at the moment. Where is he going with this? He can't quite decide where he's going. He's trying to engage off creep here against the Marines, which, okay, decent hits. Bunch of Marines do go down there. 3rd base is now actually defense coming over here now. Maru recognizes how open that was to Ling counterattack. He doesn't have enough to take down the planetary, I don't think. Not with the support of the Marines and the siege tanks here. But Serral's been able to re-expand to a 6 o'clock position, which is super important for him. Get an infestation pit up to, what has he got? 65 total workers. The income is definitely favoring Maru right now. Mules are definitely a big part of that. But is there enough? Okay, he's trying to keep Maru on this side of the map, right? That is a good strategy in StarCraft 2 in general. Boy, does he have anything defending down this way? He doesn't have any creep to give advanced awareness that this is coming in. Ling's buying precious seconds, but no, the hatch goes down. Attack up towards the left side base does get handled. There is ample army defending right now. Maru is just probing and probing and probing and finding and finding and finding and finding damage. He's killed 2 hatcheries. This one has gone down twice. 14 drones have died. It is still 65 workers for Serral, though. And if anybody can come back from the situation, Serral is definitely on that short list. He's getting a hive at the moment. His 3-3 upgrades are going to be late compared to the 3-3 that are already started from Maru. Engagement in the middle, it's really just Marine tank thus far. With Liberator support, Serral, the only thing he has to deal with the Liberators are going to be Queens. His Queen count is only 4. What's the Liberator count right now? 0. Okay, he's good. Never mind. Everything's fine. Ling's on to engage into those siege tanks. He recognizes those guys are happening. This group running for it. Medevac's a little bit off track, but they meet up quite nicely. Lings and Banes may be thinking about heading up here, but again, 2 siege tanks and Marines covering the planetary is excellent defense. It's 196 to 161 supply. Look at the supply, is what I always say, what Todd always says in these situations. Good surround on the tanks. Okay, so the tanks are gone. Do you want to gauge off creep is the question? Yes, apparently. 2-2 Ling's doing just fine. Thank you very much. Dude, no way. Is Serral actually evening up the score here a little bit? Once again, he's done a really great job of keeping Maru away from the bases at the moment. Zerglings trying to jump. Okay, all right. So that's at least one dead tank, possibly two. Friendly fire tank damage is a huge problem. One tank goes down. Another one seriously injured, but guess who dropped at the 6 o'clock base and is killing it again? Yes, that's right. Maru, and GG. Maru comes out on top. And Serral taps out in 15 minutes. Woo-wee. Woo. Yeah, man. Serral tried to get some pressure up on the other side. Could not pull it off. Couldn't pull it off. Can't really blame him for that, though. Maru's pressure was so good. So consistently good all over the place there. 22 drones down was just too much to overcome. 60 workers, 43 army supply. He had exactly 50 lings and 9 banelings, which against 6 tanks, 7 marauders, and 31 marines. Plus the income tab looked like this for the last 5 minutes. Yeah, man. I'm telling you, that first attack between 7 to 10 minutes, if it goes well for the Terran, it can lead them to getting a nice snowball victory where it just kind of rolls and rolls and rolls from there. Right? Serral was never able to tech up like he wanted to. He barely got a hive, and he never got any hive tech whatsoever. Right? Infestation pit, yes. Hive, yes. No ultralisks, no vipers were created. He didn't have the money for it. His mineral income was definitely struggling, as we can see here, and as this tells us as well. So nicely done by Maru. I mean, he lost a ton of stuff. Ton of stuff there. Like 152 Marines, 4 Marauders, 10 tanks. I mean, it was just an absolute it was a bloodbath across the sky here. But he killed 500 Zerglings in 15 minutes, which is insane. He killed 3 hatcheries, which includes this one 3 times, and forced to cancel over here too, so that's technically 4. But resources lost 23,000 to 15 is a massive 9,000 resources lost difference. Big deal. And at the end of the day, that is just how Terran can take down Zerg, even if it's Serral. Maru just that good at this game. Did lose a few SCVs due to counterattack, but learned from that lesson, defended. Ended up losing about 15 overall, which is not ideal, but he's at 75 workers and 4 total bases. And the pressure, just again, the pressure that Serral was under starting at that about 8-minute mark, it never let up. He never had the chance to sit back and breathe and say, okay, let me make a couple rounds of drones here. Let's get up to hive tech. Let's make some ultralisks. Maybe get a couple infestors out. No, none of that stuff. No chances whatsoever. No Spire either. I mean, this was Lingbane Queen for 15 minutes, which is not where Zergs want to be. Not at this level. So GG, man. Maru's just absolutely scary, as we all know. And that was a great win against an elite world champion Zerg player. All right, good. So that is going to be it for me today. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. Go ahead and hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.